Thank you. So to resume, I am going to talk about anomalous memory consolidation model of REM dreaming, which is rapid eye movement dreaming. In the sense, I am a sleep research enthusiast in this field. I have reviewed a lot of pioneering papers, and all that I am interested is in dreams. So all we are going to talk about the next 10 minutes are dreams. And to start with, what are dreams? They are internally produced pseudo visualizations as we have known them till now. For that matter, psychologist Sigmund Freud said that dreaming allows us to sort through unresolved, repressed wishes. He said that daytime experiences trigger emergence of related memories, which determine dream content. Now, we all relate to this psychologically, but when it comes to neurobiology, how true is that? But since this is a biotechnological event, let's give respect to that and know what is biotechnology. When asked bio.rg, it simply says that it is the technology based on biology. And we are going to see how this whole process, whole biotechnology is going to help me in the study. So this says that biotechnology harnesses cellular and biomolecular processes to develop technologies that help improve our lives. Obviously, if we know the real theory or reason behind why we dream, then it's absolutely going to improve our lives. So I read this somewhere that an ideal dream theory should address the three questions that are not being addressed till date, and they are how neurophysiology sets the stage for memory selection, how it favors associative processes that produce bizarre and unrecognizable representations of memories. I'm going to deal with the first two questions in the whole presentation, and we'll see at the end if I do justice to them. The objective that I have taken to proceed with the presentation is, does memory processing has a role in dreams, which is opposite to what the pioneer of dream theory, Alan Hobson, has done in his recent paper. The question that stimulated me to do this is the proposition given by threat stimulation theory, which states that dream content is not random or disorganized, but as a stimulation of perceptual world. And this develops the question, is dreaming actually due to anomalous memory consolidation process? Now, to deal with this whole idea, let's start with memory consolidation first, which is simply the sensation of sensory information from outside environment, storage of them as short-term memory, and rehearsal repetition means LTP, long-term potentiation, and consolidation of these memories in the hippocampus, which is a whole neurobiological process. And then transfer of this long-term memory for permanent storage to the neocortex again. So this is basic memory consolidation. But what is the anomaly that we are talking about? It is the shift in neuromodulatory balance from aminergic to cholinergic. Again, decreased activity in dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and increased activity in both the ACC and amygdala, as shown in this figure, is a sort of a heart attack to such to sleep researchers like me, because then it completely changes the picture. Again, decreased outflow of information from hippocampus to neocortex. This is what we are going to deal with the next. Changing levels of acetylcholine, as we just saw that when REM stage of sleep, sorry, I forgot to introduce you to stages of sleep. If you're not known, we first went to, there's a 90-minute cycle while we are sleeping. First, we have SWS, slow wave stage of sleep, then NREM, non-rapid eye movement, and then REM, which is also called rapid eye movement, paradoxical sleep, and dreaming stage of sleep. So changing levels of acetylcholine during REM stage of sleep favors this pattern of state-dependent information flow from neocortex to hippocampus by augmenting feed-forward, that is from cortex to hippocampal transmission circuits in the hippocampal formation, which you can understand from here. The information from cortex to hippocampus for long-term potentiation, and then from hippocampus to neocortex again for making it hippocampus independent and its permanent storage there. But changing levels of acetylcholine blocks the feedback circuits during REM cholinergic maxima in both waking and REM stage of sleep. Now, this gives a very important message that during anomalous memory consolidation, which occurs during REM stage of sleep, the The information, all that information that was stored initially in the hippocampus was then transferred to the neocortex. Sir, I would request please mute your mic. Thank you. So all that information that was transferred to neocortex for its permanent storage is now made available to the dreaming brain. So that completely shows that the basis of dreaming, the dream content, is composed by the information that is being transferred from hippocampus to neocortex for permanent storage, along with the pseudosensory information given by PGO system, which is pontogeniculo-occipital system, bringing the information from brainstem to the neocortex. So this is such a complex neurobiological process, but we'll try to simplify it down to understand the basis of the anomalous memory consolidation model of dreaming via this presentation. So what I did to do this whole thing is via psychological testing, because completely behavioral tests are not valid in scientific era, and completely scientific studies in psychological era cannot be, very well established. So let's start with the psychological testing that I did on people, and let's look at the results that I got from them. So I prepared this psychological test to check whether learnings or memories of recent past directly or indirectly affect dream content. So I provided questions on subjective interpretation on the subject's correlation between dreams and the real life instances. The whole list of questions that I brought about in the survey was these, and 110 participants of age group 18 to 26 took this survey for approximately a week. Aim of the questions are also written in front of them, but certain questions that were really important for me to check my theory were these. First one, do you relate the dream events with at least a thing that you experienced in the day? And yes, 40% of the people said yes, only a small portion, which suggests the check for the traces of new retroselection theory, which is that arbitrary bits of information from the day's memories brought about in the, in a consolidate in a neural network to compose the dreams at the REM stage of sleep. This is completely what I want to say, what I suggest in my theory, but based on a neurobiological aspect, which retroselection theory doesn't give. So I hope this is somehow doing justice to it. Well, the next question was, is there a memory related to the dream events? And yes, many people, like about 36% people said no, nothing was exactly same as the actual life in the dream, which completely suggests the absence of episodic memories or hippocampally uh, stored memories, because we say that neocortex is actually the information sending part to the subcortex while we are dreaming, and thus all that information provided by hippocampus and PGO waves to the neocortex are made available to the dreaming brain. So this is the gist of the story. Do you see things or events in dreams which do not relate to your life? Sometimes, to check if the dreamer is conscious of their dreams with respect to the answered questions. And the conclusions that I could make out of this whole process was that information left in the neocortex, due to the sudden breaking down of the rapid information transfer between hippocampus to neocortex, avails the spatial memory